Welcome everybody, it's Tractor Chute here for another Friday challenge. Gonna be tough to follow up that last one by McMurlin, total out at 100 turrets. And pretty much laid a smackdown on his opponent here. In the upper left hand corner, it is the red Terran. It is be playing by DarkWing, probably in memory of Darkwing Duck. Was that what the cartoon was called? Darkwing Duck? I think it was actually. It was a very good one actually. I used to watch it as a kid. He was playing as the red Terran in the upper left hand corner. In the lower right hand corner, it is the Protoss, being played by the man we've seen before. It is Firewalker as the blue Protoss. Should be fairly decent in the build, as many cannons, turrets, spine cores, or spores that you can. So let's get this baby underway. Take a look at the APM tab. I can tell you both these guys are silver. You would never know it by the looks of Firewalker. Look at that. Holy! Has 220. He is really clicking and moving his mouse around here. Very well done. Pressing buttons, spamming everything out. Has his command center. His Nexus, sorry, on 909 hotkeys. Wowzer! So he really wants to get that APM up there, up to 231. Alright, that's enough of that there. He is definitely going like crazy at the other end here. Opponent in the meantime is going to put down himself the standard wall off there. Has enough money to get the barracks out. I have to imagine that's going to come out fairly quickly as well. Like I said, both these guys are silver league, so it should be a pretty even matchup. He's actually not going to. He's going to actually go command center first. Very well done there. So looking to get into a fairly macro heavy game. In the meantime there, it does look like we have a forge going down first for a good man Firewalker. So he's going to start off with the cannons nice and early by the looks of it. There we go, Chrono boosting out some more of those good old probes. There's the opponent, of course, getting that expansion down. Very well done, my good man. And of course, the barracks does go down as well. A little bit surprised he didn't build the wall off, maybe over here to fend off his natural. But at the same time, that's quite fine. Just wants to wall off the main. It will continue to get that SCV count out there. Darkwing Duck in the meantime there. He's going to get himself down a nice early gas as well. Might be looking to do a tiny bit of Reaper harass somewhat early here. In the meantime there, it does look like we also have a Nexus going down for Firewalker, so it was a little bit of a Forge fast expand to get the pylon down there, and I have to imagine he's going to wall that natural off with a lot of cannons, but we'll have to soon wait and find out. There he goes, he's up to good old 13 workers. This is one of the bigger maps, and this one itself I do believe is always a cross-spawning map. Yes, it is. This is always these cross-spawning in the top left and the bottom right-hand corner, so both opponents should know exactly where their opponent is. We're actually going to get a Marine out, so it will not be any sort of Reaper harass. We will start ourselves off with one Marine. In the meantime, at the other end, we do have a gateway going down now with a one gas for a good man of Firewalker. Very well done. Nexus is slowly finishing up over there. And opponent in the meantime is now starting to wall off his natural. Has a bunker going down. Very good job for Darkwing Duck. I like to see that out of you. And he is getting the orbital as well. So very good player so far, I will say that. No mistakes made. Looks pretty good. Seems to look like he knows what he's doing. And there goes one Marine. We'll finish up. We'll get him right into that bunker. This Marine says, I'm going to wait for my partner before I get in there. It's very lonesome in there by myself. I'm going to sit out here and visit with my good old Darkwing SCV. There he goes. Gets the second one out. That one jumps into the bunker. Says, come on, buddy. Let's get in here. There he goes. He jumps right in there as well. Very well done. And then we are getting a scout coming out of Firewalker here as he's walking the probe across the map here. We'll get it up to the upper left-hand corner. Probably make a little trip past the good old Naga Tower. And right to the flag. Alright, I got the flag there. Now he's going to move himself further up the map here. We'll find out there are two Marines in the bunker here, which will easily fend this off before he even gets into the base. Spy depot going down, trying to finish that wall off. Will he actually get by? It's going to be very close. Oh, not quite. Didn't think so. Alright, does end up losing that probe. In the meantime there, the opponent is getting himself a factory. So it looks like he's going into Marine Marauder build or with the tech lab. Okay, so he's going to get some tanks as well. So it does look like he might be looking to turtle up just a little bit here as he is getting the tech lab nice and early here on the factory. So have to lead me to believe that we are actually going to see either maybe some Hellbat play or could be seeing some tanks. Not too sure. More than likely tanks though. And we are going with nothing as of yet, but I'm sure he's got some sort of plan as to what he wants to do. He's getting down another supply depot there, so we'll start to get that wall off slowly finished up. In the meantime, at the other end here, we do have cannons already on the map here. 3 cannons in total, and getting a second gas down with the cyber core. Yes, it is. Very well done there. So looking pretty skookum. There's the one tank coming out now as expected. So yes, this opponent is looking to turtle up a little bit on 2 base. Terran on 2 base turtle is tough to get into depending on how good they are with their micro. That tank will finish up here. We're getting out some more SCVs, and we're going to punt some turrets in our mineral line as well here. So very well done there. Engineering bay is out as well, so could be looking to get some nice early upgrades too. We'll continue to mine the heck out of this. Do have 9 working on there. Have 22 already on the top base. So very good drone. Our probe count this early here is getting in cannon down the background. Get 2 cannons down actually to be precise. There we go. That Marine will come out here. They got nowhere to go. I'd have to imagine another bunker might hit up here. 2 bunkers on the wall off is usually pretty standard. There's the 1 tank. It's going to sit himself down there in a nice little siege mode spot. Very well done. And has himself out the 2nd orbital. So he's running on 2 orbitals. And of course going right to starport. It is a double barracks to the factory and starport. Starport, very decent Marine Marauder type setup here. Marine Marauder and tank, I would have to imagine. Another turret going down for, or another cannon I should say, going down for Firewalker. Take a look at the good old building tab here. We do have 4 in total that are built. I kind of wish it would show the building ones at the same time, but it doesn't. There we go. Stargate as well. Very, very neat. Get a nice early Stargate form. I imagine Oracle might come out of here, or he might look to get into some voids. Who knows? We'll have to wait and find out. I will tell you, drink of the day is Rockstar. That is what I'm drinking right now. Ended up going down and picking up a few Rockstars for the day of Friday, as Friday is always a big day for me. We got a lot of replays going up every Friday here for the Friday challenge. Trying to get in as many Friday challenges as you can. McMerlin makes his entry into the Friday challenge for the first time, so very nice to see that, my good man. So we will have to put him on the leaderboard. We are starting a new month. Last month's winner was Viddy. So I give him my congrats, Viddy. Viddy, I do believe, leads the overall challenges as well. Like I say, I will be looking to reset it in the new year, and I'm looking to do prizes pretty quick. It might actually come before the new year, the prizes. I might do a special December giveaway. When I do it, it's going to be a laid out challenge, and it's going to be in a little bit different format. I'm not too sure what it's going to be, but the challenge will be laid out to be a hard challenge. And it will be something that, in all honesty, could be judged. It won't be like this, build the most turrets. It'll be something much different than that. And the high scorer of the month will be the winner. So if I can get all this done before December, not too sure what I want to do for prizes. I have been shooting some ideas around with friends. So I have a pretty good idea what I want to do for the first prize. I'm probably looking at getting a gaming headset. Might be the first prize. After that, I'm possibly looking to get into a gaming mouse, maybe like a higher end one. And then from there, I might be looking to get into video cards. So prizes are coming up here, more or less to make it more interesting on the channel. Give people a real reason to get into the challenge. Get the competitiveness up there. People like competition. So that's going to be the big reason behind it. Aside from that, I will be posting the challenge with the prize giveaway on Reddit as well. So expect to see a lot of challenges come up. Don't expect to be that easy with the same core group of submitters here. So we'll be very challenging. Like I say, we'll do a monthly one. So we'll say, you know, the next 4 challenges, if we can get 4 Fridays in a month there, and the winner at the end of the month will win it all. And I would also move the scoring to a 10-point scale to allow more room for scores. That way, you know, we got much more room to give people, you know, 6s, 7s, 8s, stuff like that aren't quite at the top there. So, like I say, keep an eye out for that there. Hoping to do it in December because I want to do the Christmas prize giveaway. If not, then it will start in January. So remember that. Tell your friends that. Tell them it's coming up. Tell them to bookmark me. Tell them to favorite me. Whatever they need to be to keep up on the news. Facebook fan page will continue keeping you updated as well there. In the meantime, their opponent has himself with the standard Terran Turtle, as I like to call it, because I freaking hate Terran Turtles. But, you know, it works. It really does work. I don't take anything away from the people that do it. If that's what you feel comfortable doing, by all means do so. As you can see, the opponent hasn't actually moved at all out of the base. Let's see. Does he have any vision on the opponent? No, he doesn't. But at the same time, I don't know if Firewalker even has been up there. No, he's been up there and see. Oh, yeah, he did walk the 1 probe in. That's the only unit that he's had walk up there. So he knows the opponent is expanded and is starting to turtle up a bit. But we are actually going to move out here. Have ourselves with 2 tanks. And in the other one, we have ourselves a bunch of Marines. So it could be pretty deadly. But there are a lot of cannons down here on the outside. So might be able to prevent this. We'll see whether or not he can drop in the middle without losing any of these units here. So he's going to make an attempt at it at the very least here. So here we go. He's going to get there. See, oh no, don't go over. Oh no, he's going to lose them both. He's going to lose them both. Oh, baby. That sucks for you, DarkWing Duck. I'm going to tell you that much. That's really, really painful. Got a 3rd one coming down. Lost a lot of units to that. At the same time, he's got a very big unit count on Firewalker. Still up 103 to 87 after losing all that. Is going to come down here. If he scouts this one out, we'll be able to force the cancel on it. At the very least. Does we have any offensive units? Oh, we are. Tempest. Oh, what is going on? We are getting creative. Oh, my goodness. This is actually going to get interesting. Finally decides to retreat that one. Really didn't like what he's seen over there. Do have some transferring probes at the same time. Very well done. And there he goes. He does go right past the Naga Tower. Is sending back his good old scouting probe. Probe's actually on the patrol command all over the map. Wowzer. So keeping some good old map vision for him there. Don't think he's been up to the third as of yet, though, so I don't think he realized that there is a third. Has he been up there? No, he doesn't, so has no idea a third's on the map, but either way, he's continuing to get that Tempest count up there. Very, very well done. And take a look at the good old cannon tab. We are up to 22. Not looking that bad, my good man Firewalker. Looking pretty skookum. We are only at the 13-minute mark. Has a fairly good count. Mule drops going down left, right, and center. Getting himself out to his third orbital. Has another one over here ready to fly off and expand at any point in time. Both these guys going macro heavy early in the game. Opponent was the only one looking to put a little bit of offense on. Of course, that didn't work for him. And pretty much has this fully saturated as third. Look at his probe count. Looking very good on the probe count. I will say that much here. And he is just going pure Tempest. Wow. Very, very interesting. 7 Tempests on the map. 69 probes to 53 of his opponent. But of course, opponent will always be down in the SCV count as he does have the mule advantage. Do have a couple starports working for him as well here. Has a very, very heavy tank build. He's ready to move out. This could be a little bit of trouble for his opponent of Firewalker. Not feeling that good about this for Firewalker if he elects to move out, or he might be lucky just to go over and protect that third. We'll soon find out here. There, of course, is the patrolling. Oh, not patrolling. We are building another base. Going into a 4th base for Firewalker. There's the patrolling probe, though. And units are moving to the middle map. This many units will be a lot of trouble for the Tempests. Even with 8 Tempests, when you're shooting against that many Marines, Tempests don't really care for Marines. They're not their greatest when you're going against mass Marine. But at the same time, they will massacre the tanks really quickly. That's for darn sure. So he does take over the Naga Tower in the middle of the map. Meanwhile, Firewalker continuing on this. What does he have for starports up anyways? As they're all buried underneath there. Does have himself with 4 starports. So wow, there 4 starports. Very good starport count. Or Stargate, sorry. Could elect to get another Stargate as he does have 4 bases here. So usually you want 1 per base, but at this point with his count and his income here, he should be looking pretty good there. Yeah, as you can see, both of them up around 2,700 to 400. So big gas advantage for a good man. Oh, Firewalker does have himself the 30 turrets now. So not looking too bad. A couple more coming out. Is getting the air weapon upgrade. Is also getting some void rays to help support this army as well. So very decent build so far. Take a look at the units tab. Our opponent's sitting at 10 tanks, 2 Marauders, 47 Marines, and 9 Vikings. Good job on the Viking count. That's definitely going to help him here. Vikings, very useful unit on air-to-air combat. Does have himself almost caught up in the SCV count, so very well done by the opponent. There we go, the 4th is pretty much established. Going to plant himself down a bunch more cannons, which will definitely help towards the cannon count. Lots of cannons around every one of his expansions. Opponent, in the meantime, just kind of comfortable right at the Naga Tower. I'm a little bit curious as to why he's not moving out from here. He's got a very good army. He is up to 200, so could move out at any point in time. And when he does, Firewalker's going to be in a lot of trouble. I will say that. He is getting the reinforcements coming up here. Then I have to imagine when he's going to start pushing this army in here. And I'm very curious whether or not Firewalker's got the army to fend this off. Only 10 Tempests, and he just brought in a lot more Marines into this army. 53 Marines total. So as long as he can get underneath those Tempests, he's going to melt them very, very quickly. There we go, a few more Vikings. Between the Vikings and the Marines, he should be able to do a lot of damage. Really nothing on the ground for a good man. Oh, Firewalker almost leads me to believe he's almost trying the last week's challenge here, as he has pure air units here. Looking pretty skookum. There we go with the expansion for DarkWing. Duck gets down his 4th. But in the meantime, we are still 1 base up with our opponent Firewalker sitting on 5 bases. And it is time, it looks like here. And this is going to be a lot of trouble for Firewalker. Very curious on how he's going to deal with this. Oh, and here we go. We're actually going to go to work over here. We'll end up getting a kill on the 5th. And there's nothing Firewalker can do about this. So I imagine he's just going to let this go to the ground. And there we go. Finishes that base off very easily. Oh, he is actually coming in. He's going to try and fend this off. So he's going to show his army. He's going to show that he has pure air. Why not? And there we go. Tempest getting a lot of... Oh, he gets the split. A few of them end up over here. But, of course, they don't really do a whole lot. Kills off a few of the Marines anyways. But he is right back up to 200. So, like I say, wasn't a whole lot. Tempest against pure Marine Marauder isn't really the greatest of builds. But at the same time there, we'll see if it works for him. Here we are. We're going to move a few more out in the group here. Make sure there's no more expansions taken. And he's going to come over and try and take this expansion over here. Let's actually get a count of our cannons here. 44 cannons. So got to remember what the peak of his number is, because he's probably going to lose cannons throughout here. And here we go. Vikings get in there first. He might actually lose a few Vikings here. Oh, he's got all of them. You got to control your units a little better, son. Oh, and here we go. We're going to get sieged up here. And we're just going to go to work on this army. With all those siege tanks on the ground, it's going to be tough. Oh, actually, never mind. Sorry, Firewalker doesn't even have any ground troops. Not going to hurt him at all. So he was at 45 for cannons at one point, so we got to remember that. 45 is the peak number so far for a good man on Firewalker, and they're going to finish this base off quite easily. Is trying to get in the background, though. Is going to work. We'll be able to clean up these Vikings. Vikings and Tempests don't get along. I mean, Vikings are good air-to-air, but when you're up against that mass amount of Tempests, they're going to clean you out. They're going to go to work on these tanks now. Tanks got to get out of there. These Tempests, oh no, they're going to have to cross right through this here. Going to one-shot each one of these ones. Very well done there. And going to get a few more shots off here. Going to take out a few more tanks. A few more Vikings trying to get in there. We'll finish off those Vikings fairly easily here. Opponent, in the meantime, is trying to get down to the other expansion. He's moving down here, killing off the other transferring probes there, long distance finding probes. Gonna try and get in there. I don't know if it's gonna do him a whole lot of good, as that is a lot of cannons down here. Cannons are really going to work, trying to clean up the rest of these Marines here. Firewalker, in the meantime, up here, he is holding his own. He's trying to fend off all the reinforcing units and is doing a fairly decent job. He's gonna try and push in on this base here, and he might be able to do so. Needs to get sieged up, as that would really help this out here. Really needs to get sieged up, but he's not sieging up at all. I think he's scared of the Tempest. Doesn't want to have him sieged, otherwise they're stuck on the ground there. And these Tempests are just going to clean this army up very easily. Look at this. He's actually got the lead in food now. Tempest just doing a ton of damage for him here. Looking pretty good there. Tempest just going to work here, bringing in 4 more to help this out here. Should be able to clean up the army of Darkwing Duck here, and that's exactly what he's going to do. A few more go down. A few Marines are trying to get in there. Tempest will clean up them quite easily here. All he's got is ground troops now that can only shoot ground, so that's not going to do a lot of good. Medevac ends up going down. Another Medevac goes down. We'll clean up the last of the army here. A few more tanks. Marauder going down. 1 more tank. There's the last tank, and does clean that up. Look at the Void Ray count, looking pretty skookum. Like I say, he did have himself up to 44 turrets, or 46, I do believe, somewhere in there. But we'll take a look back when I do the review for scoring anyway. So don't worry, I will not lose the count on him here. So there we go, does clean up that army here and gets himself a fairly decent lead. Also has the Mothership Core, or the Mothership, sorry, not the Mothership Core. It is a Mothership on the field here to help him with the good old cloaking. At the same time, he does have the benefit of scanning, so cloaking against Terran isn't overly good for you. But it does take a lot of micro for the lower level leagues to get over to the command center and run that scan a lot of times. And he also has carriers, so he's going strictly to Sky Toss. Like I say, it's almost like this was a build for my other challenge. He hasn't got 1 ground unit the entire time. Very well done. This could actually work for both challenges, what he's trying here, and I kind of like it. So he's moving himself way over here into the middle of the map here. He's going to get around that Naga Tower and kind of position himself right there to see what he wants to do. Oh, wowzer. Wowzer, we have elected massive Viking. This is a lot of Vikings, 22 to be exact here. But the Mothership Core, of course, is cloaking them all, so they're all going to go to work on the Mothership Core. They're going to try and do the best they can. Oh boy, here goes the carriers launching the interceptors. Void Rays will clean up Vikings like you wouldn't believe. Look at this. Just melting left, right, and center. Look at that food count just dissipate. It's actually almost going up. He's got so many production buildings. There we go. Cleans it up very easily. Firewalker controlling this game with the Sky Toss army. Late game Sky Toss armies, they're tough to deal with. I will tell you that much here. So we'll try to reestablish himself some bases here. Take a look at the structure count. He is back down to 35. So has got the cannon count back up again, but I'm sure that will come soon. In the meantime, there he is looking to go over and do a little bit of harass. Has a few Sky Toss units here. Has himself a good old Tempest, a half-full carrier, not building any more interceptors, and a Void Ray heading up to the upper right-hand corner of the map here. Well, we'll look to take out this base fairly easily. He's only got a few turrets up there. I don't think that's going to be enough to help him out. In the meantime, there he does elect to go into Thor's, probably the right choice for this. So I do I do like that idea. They're actually going into a good old Thor build, because Thors can be deadly against air, especially if you use their skill there. What is it called again here? High impact payload. You use that, it will melt air like you wouldn't believe. Not too sure what he plans on doing with these 3. If it's going to be a minor little harassment or minor little harassment. That's a lot of gas and money in that build there. So really could do a lot of damage though if he elects to move into that 4th or 3rd or whatever you want to call it of his opponent here. Take a look at the units lost tab. You can see 131, 16,000 in gas to the 57 units and 9,700 for a good man of Firewalker. Take a look at the good old production tab. We are continuing with Viking / Thor. Probably a pretty good idea. And also mixing in some Marines as well. Has some more carriers coming out for Firewalker. Has this base nice and fully saturated. Mules down there doing a lot of mining for him. Here's the rest of the Sky Toss army sitting at this end here. Take a look at the unit count tab. We do have 8 Thors, 11 Vikings, 13 Marines, to the 5 Tempest, 4 carriers, 11 Void Rays. So looking pretty good there for Firewalker at this point. I have to say he's fairly ahead. I don't know if you can call it really ahead. I actually don't know. Darkwing Duck, look at the food count. It's tough to say. You know, when you got a Thor / Viking army against Sky Toss, I think is your best counter, especially with the Marines there to eat up a little bit of the damage. So we'll soon find out. I'm actually very curious how these engagements are actually going to work out here. I'm not too sure who's going to end up coming out ahead here. So he's going to move himself in the middle. Looks like he's about ready. He's pretty much capped out in food, so he's going to try and figure out where he wants to attack first. There's the Observer, so that tells him exactly what he's up against here. Might scare him a little bit. That is a lot he's got going on there. Doesn't really have upgrades, though. Only has 1 for the armor and 1 for the air units here. In the meantime, there, Firewalker's sitting himself on 2 and 1, so got a little bit better on the upgrades. And there's a good old cannon. Sorry, it's not a proxy. It's just random cannons going down. It's take a look at the cannon count. We're back up to 40. So might be looking to peak out the good old building count here pretty soon. All these guys are standing around here at 200 food. So DarkWing Duck here, I'd have to imagine, might want to do something at some point in time. There's 42 cannons. I am keeping an eye on your cannon count. So a little bit curious what he's going to do. Has a lot of repairing SCVs. Very smart by DarkWing Duck. I will say that. That's a good idea. Still have these sky units over here just kind of hanging out. Like I say, maybe they went up there at one point with an idea to do something, then maybe forgot about them, as they're just going to sit up in the upper right-hand corner not doing anything at all. Opponent of DarkWing Duck here finally ready to engage here. I was going to say, you're at 200 food for a while. Both these guys are at 200. So both of them must be looking to attack. Big macro advantage for our good man of Firewalker, but at the same time with the mules, that Terran can drop down. It almost evens itself out there. And here we go. He is ready to go to work here. Tempest is going to work. There's the mass amount of Vikings. Oh, and here we go, boys. We are going to get the good old Thors out here. High impact payload has to get laid down. Void Rays are going to work here. They're going to melt away at the rest of these Vikings here. Carriers are launching like crazy here. Oh, this might not go so well. Looks like he's going to clean up the Sky Toss army. Like I say, he has the perfect counter to a Sky Toss army. Here's some straggling units getting lost out in the middle of nowhere here. He had himself back up there to 46 cannons. Again, ends up losing one there. And will continue to go to work here. He's pushing really hard now. Oh, this Sky Toss army isn't feeling so good now. This is a very good counter he's working on here. He's got the 1-1 upgrades for the Thors as well here. He does end up cleaning up the little bit of the middle area that he had there. And here we go again. We're going to go to work. Going to try and engage this army as best he can. Not going to do him a lot of good. They're going to clean through this army. Needs to target down that carrier though. And there he goes. There's the targeting of it here. We'll end up finishing that carrier very easily. And it's just the Tempest left now if he can get himself over there. In the meantime there, he should be attacking with this group up here to try and distract his opponent, or at least get a couple more units up there to try and help with a little bit of harassment. And here we go. We're just going to go to work on these Tempests here. Tempest trying to get back, trying to use that range best they can. SCVs are right in the front line. Not too sure whether or not around repairing those Thors. Finally gets them over there. Now they're going to go work on repairing here. They will continue to fire. Thors have a lot of range, I'll tell you that much. Look at that. They can range with the Tempest at the very best. And does end up chasing them right out of there. Forcing them out. We'll be able to kill this base off very easily. So here we go. Going to go to work with the super cannon arms. Finishes that off quite easily. And Tempests are going to try and chase him down best they can. But Thors are going to start moving down into one of the other bases of Firewalker here. And that base doesn't have anything on it, so it's not really going to do him a lot of good. It has one miner, but he will try and finish that off. Firewalker in the meantime has so many bases on the map that he should be quite fine. And we're just going to finish that Nexus off quite easily. Even the SCV is getting in there for a couple of attack shots there. He's bringing down some more Thors to help this army, because Thor is here, right? Thor! I actually watched a superhero movie the other day. I've seen Thor, and it's the first Thor movie I've ever watched in my life, to be honest with you. And sad as it is, it was a cartoon. It was one I got for my kids. So it was a Phineas and Ferb one, and they had they had Spider-Man and Thor and not Punisher, Venom, and a bunch of other ones, and they were pretty good. So we're going to work on the 4 whopping Tempests in the middle of the map here. Should be able to clean them up quite easily here. Here we go, targeting him down one by one there. Look at the hit points on these Tempests though. Just takes forever almost to kill him. Void Ray's coming in the back there. Oh, he might actually have this. Tempests are coming in the back here as well. Oh, it does look like Firewalker might get the best of the engagement here. Prismatic alignment is down as well there, so very well done there. And should be able to clean this up quite easily here. But he does have some reinforcing units coming in over here. That's a lot of Thors and a lot of Vikings. We'll clean up the back army, or the front army anyways here. And one more Thor left over here, and then he's got a bunch more over here, which should be able to clean up the army of our good man Firewalker, I would have to imagine, but maybe not. A little bit surprised. I don't think he's using the high impact payload, which is a little bit surprising. So he is going to continue to go to work here, trying to get him into position right underneath the Tempest, and is going to continue shooting away. Who's going to win this? It's basically both these units both counter each other, so it's very, very interesting to watch this here. Really going to come down to the upgrade count. We do have the 3 armor for a good amount of Firewalker, but at the same time we have 2 armor for the opponent's Thors. And it does look like Firewalker will win this engagement. Very well done. Cleans that army up here, back to a pretty even army count, up to 1/3 to 127 there. So ends up cleaning that up quite easily. Hasn't reestablished the 2 bases that got taken out, but at the same time he's still running off of 4 base. Still has these units up here, not doing a whole heck of a lot, but either way, he is ready to... Oh, it looked like he was going to start moving out and try and do a little bit of harassment, but he's going to pull himself back here. 57 cannons. Wowzer! Cannon count is getting up there. Do like to see that. In the meantime there, we are getting some random SCVs that apparently thought they could build a base over here. So they're going to look to do a little bit of mining. They're taking up a little bit of the minerals from our good old opponent of Firewalker here. And very well done. I'm pretty sure they did plan on planting a base down there, but didn't realize there was an already fully mining base down there. So it does end up losing a few SCVs in the meantime there. And they all come back over here like, holy shit, guys, you wouldn't believe it. There's already a base over there. Nothing we can do. So they tell them all the big stories that they have here. And we are going to move back out with the mothership again. So mothership going to be used for some good cloaking. And We'll soon find out how this is going to go for him, as he does have to rebuild his army. 142 to 142. And is going to get a bunch more cannons down up to 63. Cannon count is looking pretty sick. And at the same time, I'm going to have to say this game is actually really good. The main reason being, he's managed to keep a very high cannon count while playing against a very good opponent. This opponent isn't bad at all. These guys are both very even. I mean, I'm not going to say they're super master level, but when you have even opponents, they're both equal skill level. It's tough to do when you're trying to do a challenge. But Firewalker seems to be pulling it off here. He's doing very decent. Like I say, still hasn't built a ground unit, I don't think. No ground units. Like I say, this could have worked for either challenge. This is actually kind of cool, my good man. Take a look back over here at the turret count, 66. Have a ton more going down. He's really looking to keep that cannon count up here. Really using all his minerals. Doesn't have any other minerals outside of that. They're looking at him spend like crazy. Opponent in the meantime has a ton of minerals, surprisingly enough, when he's going Viking/Thor. Excuse me, Viking/Thor. Very surprising that he's able to keep that kind of mineral count. Over here you can see he has mind out there, mind out there, mind out there. Wowzer! Does the opponent have any income coming in? No, he doesn't. Look at that, only 180 wowzers. So definitely needs to get that income count going up there, up to 78 turrets. Looking pretty darn good so far here. Mothership Core has a lot of Sky Toss units underneath it now. Like I say, opponent's got to do something. I don't know what the opponent plans on doing. He's got a very good food count, got enough to possibly take over a few bases here. Has a lot of minerals and gas in the bank. Well, a lot of minerals in the bank, not a lot of gas. Has his upgrades looking pretty good. Still sitting on 2-1. Still sitting on 2-1 for the air as well. Opponent of Firewalker has himself sitting on 3-1, so got the advantage there. And we'll soon find out who's actually going to get a hold of this one here, as it looks like the opponent is back up to 200 almost, so I'd have to imagine he's ready to move out one more time here, and he really needs to. He needs to get some mining happening here. Maybe he should have took over here after he killed his base for the second time. Maybe should have looked to expand over there. Probably would have been a fairly good idea. Here we go. These guys over here have the best job in the world. They're never going to get killed, because it looks like Firewalker's literally forgot about them, so they're going to be safe for the rest of the match, I would have to imagine. And we're going to move ourselves down here. Army is finally ready to go in. Try and see what they see. Does scan on the upper ground here. Sees there's nothing there. Up to 82 cannons. Cannon count is looking pretty sick, and we're ready to move this baby out here. Here we go. Vikings are going to get in there first, as he doesn't really control them separately. They're going to see everything building here. 84, 85. He's going to lose some here, so got to keep it count. 86. Looking pretty decent. Oh, now we might start seeing a little bit of cannon count go down once his opponent moves into the base here. 86 cannons so far, though, is a very impressive number, especially against an opponent who's got a little bit of aggression in him here. And here we go. Going to go to work on one of the cannons there, so back down to 85. Going to continue to attack from the high ground here. In the meantime, their Sky Toss army is ready to come in there and help. Once he gets that Mothership Core in there, over the Tempest, it's going to be very hard to deal with. He's going to have to get in there and focus fire down that Mothership. Either that or run a scan, which is exactly what he does. So he runs a scan there, going to end up chasing them out of here. Firewalker's going to be in a lot of trouble. He's getting chased down big time there. Does have a lot of cannons over here to help protect. So we'll soon see if the opponent wants to engage us, or if the opponent's waiting for something special. I'm not too sure. But might want to look at taking out the expansion that he was firing at here. Maybe try and finish this off and get your expansion out, because that money's not going to last you forever, I'll tell you that much. He's back up to 200. Firewalker, in the meantime, is working himself back towards the 200 mark here. Has a fairly decent army sitting underneath this. Take a look at the unit tab here. We do have 6 Tempest, 2 Carriers, 6 Void Rays, 1 Mothership. Opponent sitting on 11 Thors, 12 Vikings, and 50 Marines. There we go. 87 cannons we've massed ourselves up to. So has a new number of 87. Looking pretty good. Didn't like that engagement. Not too sure why. He's got enough units there to really do a lot of damage, especially if he gets the high impact payload down. He should be able to clean them up here, but he's not doing so. He's actually just going to sit bundle up in the middle here. At the same time, there are a lot of cannons down there too to help protect a good amount of Firewalker. So 87 cannons seems to be the number right now, and we're going to continue going to work. Now he needs to get everybody underneath that army there, or at least focus fire down that Mothership Core, or run scans continuously, whichever works easier for you here. And here we go. He is going to push himself in here. Firewalker's going to be in a lot of trouble. Gets another scan down there. He's just going to go to work on this army up here. Like I say, with that 3 armor, though, it really makes it tough to take these units down there. Mothership Core ends up going down. Now he can see everything. Now he's going to start cleaning up on the army here. Should be able to massacre through this Sky Toss army, and that's exactly what he's doing. Going to end up losing every one of his units here. Wowzer! That is big trouble for him. Has 1 empty carrier standing over there. Might want to start filling that baby up. But other ways, going to end up losing them fairly quickly here. Now the opponent got a little bit of an advantage, up to 146 to 123, and is going to continue into here. Sees the 6 million cannons sitting in the middle of the map, but he's going to push through it anyways. Thors love cannons. They'll probably massacre through them very, very quickly, and he's going to continue pushing, probably wondering why there's so many damn cannons on the map there. If anything, it's going to piss him off knowing that his opponent's being an idiot building cannons everywhere. So he's going to push through there. Does have one Artosis pylon that you really could just take out one power like a million cannons. But instead he's going to retreat himself and get himself back up to 200. I would have to imagine a lot more Marines being built out of him. Finally, he's out of money. So now he's got to go for a base. He's got to quit pissing around the middle of the map here. You got to go take over something. You got no income now. Yeah, you're at 0. So really needs to do something. Wowzer. Firewalker, like I say, did peak out at 87 cannons so far. So that is a very respectable number. And maybe he wants to go attack a base that he hasn't attacked yet, just so he can walk into some more cannon fire. Maybe he enjoys killing cannons. I'm not entirely sure. But either way, I mean, any logical person would take this out. Not that you can see the map, but he's been attacking it numerous times. You gotta know it's not super defended. So he's gonna go to work on the high ground here, take out as much as he can here. We'll get a couple cannon kills. And yeah, just gonna kind of sit up there. You really need to pull the army right down there and just go to work. Get expanded. Or you can just stand around and pick off these cannons and pylons one by one from the high ground, whichever works easier for you. And he does have one siege tank there, so he's going to let that one siege tank go to work, see how much damage he can do. Void Raids are coming in the side here. They get the prismatic alignment off. Very well done there. But he will, of course, get melted very, very quickly. So, very well done by the opponent one more time. All these are unpowered, of course, on the outside. And it looks like he's kind of come to a standstill. He's not too sure what to do. He did use the last of his money on repairing, so he's back down to 0. And we'll have to try and push himself into the base here. It was exactly what he's going to do. See what kind of damage he can do. Pylons or cannons are going to work here, trying to get a few kills anyways. But once he moves right in here, should be able to take out these last few cannons here and take this base over at the very least. It looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. He's trying his very best here. Finishes off that cannon. Not much left down here for defense. Cleans up the Nexus. So now he's got control. Needs to fly something over here and start mining away here. Gonna try and clean up the last of the cannons in the background there. We'll clean up the assimilator. Very good job there. And I do not believe that Firewalker is going to get that cannon count back up there. Taking a look at the good old units tab here. You can see he only has 1 Tempest, 3 carriers, and 8 Void Rays to the 24 Marines, 12 Thors, 2 tanks, and 2 Vikings. So Darkwing Duck finally looking to expand here. What is that he's got? Is that a fleet beacon that he's trying to build there? Oh, it's an orbital. It almost looks like a fleet beacon underneath all them. So that will be an orbital. Finally going to like to get it over there and get that expansion done. That's exactly what's happening. Not too sure why he doesn't keep the army around there to try and protect that base, but he'll get them all up on the high ground out of the way there. Probably go take control of that Naga Tower or do something like that, I would have to imagine. Here we go. We are going to land. We have a lot of SCVs getting ready to mine over here. They're all going to... Oh, good. He did pull them back. I was going to say they're all going to wander across the map and take forever to get back. This base is almost mined out, so not exactly the best base to take over. This base over here, once again, would probably be the best choice. Look at all the minerals over here that you would have. But either way, you can take over whatever base you want. You can finish off those minerals probably in 2.5 seconds with the mules. Where the hell are these guys going? Back here, boys! Base is over here! But they're all going to get out of there. Back down. Look at that. Only needs 9 now. He's going to mine this out very quickly. Only 15 left on there. 15 left on there. Oh, yeah. That's basically going to do it for this base here. So you got a little bit of money out of it. Got a few $100. Don't think that's going to do him a whole lot of good here. Taking a look at the good old structure tab, we are back up to 63 cannons. So continuing to build the cannons out here. Don't know what he's going to do with the whopping $300 that he managed to mine out of there, but he'll try his best. Has his food count up to 133. Firewalker's slowly going to take this over. Just too many healthy bases mining compared to his opponent here. So he's going to get that Sky Toss build back up. But in the meantime, he wants to get the cannon count back up there. Back up to 72. 87 was the peak. Let's see if he can exceed that. A lot of Void Rays over here, up to 3-2 now for upgrades, so looking pretty good there. There's a couple siege tanks. They're going to go to work slowly on the cannons down here. At least do a little bit of damage there, take them back down to 74. And Void Rays will come and clean up those couple tanks quite easily. Once you lose those tanks, it's going to be a lot of trouble. Won't have any ground guys with the range to take the cannons out anymore. We'll leave the Void Rays in there to die, as we'll do as much damage as we can, but of course they're all going to die very, very quickly, especially if they go on the move command and try and target down the Thor at the back. There you go. So it does end up losing all of them. Keeps himself at the 73 cannon count. And will move himself up with 1 Tempest. Take a look at the unit tab. He does have himself 3 carriers, 2 Tempests, and only 4 Voids left. So we'll need to get that army built back up here, as that's a lot of armies his opponent has. But at the same time, if he's got his opponent with absolutely no money, advantage Firewalker. I'll give you that much here. There's a bunch more cannons over here. This base pretty much mined out. This base mined out, and mined out. So really, this is the only base going for him here. The only other base on the map, there is no other base on the map in all honesty. Everything is pretty much mined out, which really tells you that unless he gets a hold of this base over here, whoever has control of this one is probably going to end up winning this game. And at the meantime, it is Firewalker. So very big advantage. 2-2 for the upgrades for good old Thor. So very well done there. Is he right out of Vikings? Oh, he's got a couple Vikings left on the map there. It doesn't look like any more cannons are coming down here, as we are sticking ourselves at about the 73 mark. And we're going to continue pushing. Finally going for the base that he should have took 10 minutes ago. He is going to push himself in there. There's a very big Artosis pylon there. To take that, and that's exactly what he does. Focuses down that pylon. That empowers 4 of them. Scans the high ground as that's where he's getting hit from. And we'll continue to go to work on the cannon on the outside. There's another cannon powering them. And we'll try and push his way in here as best he can. Go to work with the Thors. Thors love taking down buildings. There's a lot of transferring probes. They're going over to mine nothing because there's nothing left to mine on the map. He will clean this up and look to come over and try and take this base over. Very well done by the opponent here. That's exactly what he needed to do. So I would have to imagine we will see a little bit of green show up here as he will look to land the orbital. There's one random void ray getting stuck out in the middle of nowhere. Almost gets himself killed. Still have these guys over here as expected. Don't want to touch them. They're just going to sit back there and relax. And does look like the Skytoss army is ready to come in here and try and clean this up. We'll see what they can do as they do have the mothership out one more time here. Got a couple full carriers in this army here. Let's see what they can do here. There's the damage going down. Tempest is going to go to work here. Clean up one of the Vikings. Prismatic alignment, I would have to imagine, is going to go down here at some point. There it is on a couple of them. Very well done. There's prismatic alignment. Going to look at cleaning up the rest of these stores. Opponent with no money really doesn't have a choice at this point. Once he loses these stores, that's basically going to be it. Still gets the scan down there. Very well done with the scanning, though. I will say that when you're up against Cloak, it's tough to scan and attack at the same time. DarkWing Duck says good game. Firewalker says good game. 87 cannons was the total for Firewalker. I give you my congrats, my condolences to you, DarkWing Duck. Very good game. Leaving you with this. If the red lid's still on my peanut butter, then that means that I still haven't gotten the mail out. You be good. Don't hurt nobody. Peace.